Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and in this video I am going to be answering a question that was asked by one of you magical unicorns. And Stay Street 1 wants to know why I gave up chocolate, how I did it, the pros and cons, and the difficulty level. So I thought that I could answer it while also talking about the general topic of breaking bad habits. And I have a lot of tips to offer you on how you can kick any bad habits you have to the curb. Let's get kicking. When setting any goal for yourself, whether it is to gain something or to let go of something, there are three main questions that you should always ask yourself. 1. What exactly do I want? Get really specific with it, because health or fitness just ain't gonna cut it. You need to have a specific point at which you can say you've done it. 2. Why exactly do I want this? None of this airy-fairy generic bullshit about how your health is your wealth. Dig deep and find out why you really want to do this. Is it to give yourself back some self-esteem? Is it because someone very close to you was affected by it? Get serious with yourself. Doing it just because you think it's a good thing to do isn't going to light a fire under you. You need to want something so badly that you basically can't fail. 3. How exactly am I going to do it? Actions speak louder than words. So what's the game plan? Oh, well, I want to get healthy, so I'm just going to eat better and exercise more. Wrong. How exactly? Step by step. Okay, so I think I've labored the point enough by now. If you are not getting down to specifics, then you will soon find yourself back at square one. This is not the time for vagueness. So let's look at my chocolate predicament. I wanted to cut chocolate out of my diet completely. Not just cut back on it or only eat it on special occasions. No, cut it out completely, 100%. Now, there are 2 ways that you can break a habit. 1 is to slowly wean yourself off it, and 2 is to go cold turkey. I went cold turkey. Normally, I am a huge advocate of starting small. If this was anything else, I would be telling you to take baby steps, to just get a small win under your belt to build up some momentum. But if you have tried that tack, as I had for the umpteenth previous times I had tried to give up chocolate, or if you need to take action right now, then it's time for drastic measures. It's all or nothing time. I was afraid of the nothing. I was very much afraid of giving up chocolate. I am an emotional eater, a comfort eater, and I definitely ate chocolate for comfort and also as a stress reliever. I ate it every single day and lots of it, because who doesn't want to feel comforted and stress-free? So that was the what. Then I moved on to the why. My grandfather was diagnosed with diabetes quite late in his life, type 2, so self-inflicted, I guess. It was down to his diet. He also then got lung cancer because he smoked. So I guess between the 2 of those, he was basically fucked. He died when I was 11, and he was the first person that I loved who died. I was very, very close to him, and I got his sweet tooth. Fast forward a few years, and I was eating enough sugar to keep the local shop in business. I was spending all of my pocket money on it. It was pretty much all I ate for lunch at school. Now, don't blame my parents. They had no idea that's the shit I was spending my money on. And then when I was 15, I started working, so I had my own money. Basically, it was a problem. And then down through the years, I started consuming it in larger and larger quantities. I always made attempts to cut it out, or at least to cut back, but they never lasted long, just a few days usually. And then I got pregnant, and I tried again, and I failed again, and I felt like utter shit because I knew it wasn't good for the baby. And then because I felt like shit, guess what I turned to cheer myself up? Scout was born in April 2013, and the guilt continued because I was breastfeeding her, and I breastfed her for a year, so right into 2014. And then when that was done, I thought, oh, this is wonderful. I can eat as much chocolate as I want now because I'm not passing it on to her. I don't have to feel guilty anymore. Yeah, that relief didn't last long. My granddad was always in the back of my mind, and I knew at that stage that it was inevitable that I was going to get diabetes. It was no longer just a risk, it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. After that, there was a chance that I could go blind or lose a limb or any number of horrendous things that happen to people with diabetes. There was also a chance that it could kill me and I would leave my daughter without a mother and my husband without a wife. St. Stephen's Day 2014, I was in my parents' house and I had just feasted on chocolate over the Christmas holidays, and then I went down there and they had loads more of it in the house and I just went overboard to the point where I felt physically sick. And unfortunately that was not actually a rare occurrence. So at one point I just looked at my daughter and I thought, that's it, I'm done. So if you are serious about breaking a bad habit, then you need to get yourself a damn good reason. One that makes you want to kick that habit at all costs. What you gain from giving it up has to far exceed what you get from continuing. So now we move on to the how. Like I said, I had tried many times to give up chocolate, and I had done it in various different ways. So I had tried to just eat a lot less of it. I had tried to kind of cut it out completely for a few days and then slowly reintroduce it. I had tried to only eat it a certain number of times a week, etc., etc. So I knew from lots and lots of previous experience that once any amount of chocolate passed my lips, that was it. It was a slippery slope. There was no such thing as moderation for me. So it had to be all or nothing. Now here's the thing about all or nothing. It eliminates ambiguity. It eliminates doubt and excuses and weakness and just this once. When I told myself that I did not eat chocolate anymore, it made it easier. There were no questions, no exceptions. No, am I allowed to eat this small little bit? No, this one time won't make much of a difference. No, I'm having a really hard day, so I'll just eat a little bit. No, I'll eat some today and then I won't eat any tomorrow. It was very black and white. Now, at the time, I had a sizable stash of chocolate in my cupboard. This is it. That, to me, was just a little over a week's worth of chocolate. And I knew from previous experience that if I had just gotten rid of all of that chocolate out of the house, it was going to be all I was going to think about. Yes, it was a risky move. It meant that there was going to be temptation in the house. You'll have to decide what's best for you. For some people, they find it easier to cross that tightrope when there's no safety net because they have no other option but to get across. For me, the safety net of my stash eliminated a lot of the fear and anxiety. While it was there, I was able to just focus on moving forward, on making progress and not worrying about falling. So the pros and cons. The biggest pro is that it's obviously much better for my health. And I have to say, I have saved a lot of money. I used to spend a lot of money on chocolate. And because I was only eating it really for comfort rather than out of hunger, I didn't have to replace it with anything. And that's actually it for the pros. I didn't notice any difference in my weight, in my complexion, in my mood or energy levels. I just didn't. The cons. It's sometimes a little bit tricky if I am out for dinner or going to a party or the cinema or something like that. You know, those situations where desserts or sugary snacks are kind of part of the experience. I can sometimes feel that I'm missing out a little bit. Also, I was crippled with headaches for the first few days. Crippled. It was horrendous. I mean, really bad for the first day or two, a little bit better for the following 2 or 3 days, and then it eased off a good bit, but still horrible. And that's it. That is the story of how I gave up chocolate. I knew what I wanted, I knew why I wanted it, and I knew how I was going to get it. A lot of people have been pretty amazed by it, particularly people who knew what I was like before. They assumed that it was really difficult, and a lot of people have said that they don't know how I did it. It was actually pretty easy, honestly. After all of those years of trying and failing, I just stopped allowing any room for exceptions or excuses. I do not eat chocolate. That's it. That is who I am. Anytime that I get tempted by chocolate, And yes, I do still get tempted. Easter is particularly tough, but I just tell myself I do not eat chocolate. And the longer I don't eat it, the easier it is, because I don't want to break my streak. There is no way that I am giving up all I have achieved in the past 20 months. So what new identity will you make for yourself? Maybe you have been trying to give up cigarettes. How about telling yourself every single day that you are a non-smoker? If somebody offers you a cigarette, all you have to do is say, oh, no thanks, I don't smoke. Before you know it, it is completely ingrained in every fiber of your being. It's who you are. Get your what, your why, and your how, and then start your life as a brand new person. Me, I don't eat chocolate. And that is a wrap for another video. Thumbs up if there is a bad habit that you have been trying to break. Let me know in the comments below what your new identity will be. Who is the new you? And what do you think of the all or nothing approach? Is it something that could work for you? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I upload new videos every Thursday to motivate, inspire, and help you to live a happier, simpler life. As always, gur míle maith agaibh agus feici mé sibh se go luath. Slán!